In this episode of Filmstock Reviews, I'm reviewing Cobra Kai Season 5. Cobra Kai Season 5 premiered on Netflix September 9th, 2022, and all of the 10 episodes premiered at one time. Oh, holy shit, let me catch my breath a little bit, because I literally just finished binge watching all 10 episodes of Season 5 of Cobra Kai, and this is probably the best season by far. Now, within the past, I want to say 20 months, 20 plus months, we've gotten 3 seasons of Cobra Kai on Netflix. Season 3 started on January 1st, 2021. Season 4 was December 31st, 2021. And now, Season 5, September 9th, 2022. Epic, amazing. I mean, this is literally the story of Silver. Like, Terry Silver's rise to that prominence of what started in Karate Kid Part 3 is now going on strong in the Cobra Kai TV series. What the creators have come up with is amazing. 5 seasons to tell the story of Cobra Kai. We got Daniel's story and, about Miyagi, Mr. Miyagi, and Miyagi-Do in the Karate Kid movies. And now it's Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai Season 5 is really different than what you would anticipate and expect. And the reason I say that is because we see the rise of the Cobra Kai dojo, meaning Terry Silver is expanding how far he can expand to make it a profitable thing. Of course, you know what happened to John Kreese at the end of Season 4. He got arrested and was framed. Silver is always the mastermind behind everything he does, and he's one of those men that he manipulates you into getting what he wants and changes your mind and focus and makes you think something else. The characters of Robbie, Tori, Samantha, Miguel, Hawk, like, they've all been somewhat, you know, they know Terry Silver through the stories of what Sam's father told her. But they've also, the other kids have been in Cobra Kai, and they know what Cobra Kai does to them. But like Johnny, when he was younger, he didn't know that until later on. Now, we also get chosen as a main character in this, which is really, really great. And it's great to see him in this. And the reason I say it is Yuji Okumoto really brings a different dynamic to when you saw him when he was younger in the Karate Kid Part 2 to now. Of course, he has that aspect of, okay, at the end of Season 4, who else can Daniel turn to take down Terry Silver? Well, Chosen. Taguchi is really, really great as a character. Not only that, we get Mike Barnes returning in this season. Yes, the villain of the Karate Kid Part 3. The other villain in Part 3 being Terry Silver. Now, the way aspect of how Sean Cannon came back is great. He owns a furniture store, and Daniel thinks the worst because Daniel is going crazy because Terry Silver has changed his life about how certain things work. Mike Barnes has left that role behind, and it's really great. But then something happens to Mike Barnes' livelihood. Sean Cannon, the actor who plays Mike Barnes, is really, really great. Seeing him and returning in this, he was prominent in a few episodes, but it's really good to see all 3 enemies, and I mean this, all 3 enemies of Daniels in the movies. Part 1 being Johnny, Part 2 being Chosen, and Part 3 being, Mike Barnes, all come together to form a, a group to take out Terry Silver. There's a great scene in the season finale of this season where you see those 3 characters, the enemies of Daniel LaRusso, come together to take out Terry Silver. It's absolutely mind-blowing about how it worked. Not only that, Robin Lively comes back as Jessica Andrews, and it was great to see her in this. I was hoping that somehow, some way, the creators and the writers put her character in this, because she was also pretty prominent in Part 3, the Karate Kid Part 3, where she played the new love interest to Daniel. Not only that, she knows how Terry Silver works. Now, the interesting thing about this is that when Jessica Andrews is introduced, we find out that she is the first cousin to Amanda. So Jessica actually introduced Amanda and Daniel, and it was great. And then we get the backstory of how Jessica tells Amanda Terry Silver is not, he's this mean, crazy guy. Because something happened at a function where it happened at Terry Silver's house, and it got to Daniel's head, and then Daniel and Amanda had a fight. It was just crazy and interesting and weird. It was great to see everyone return, even from the part three movie. Mike Barnes, we didn't know how he was going to be introduced into this series. He was. Jessica Andrews, the character was a smart writing choice to have her be the cousin to Amanda. Aspect between Miguel and Sam, great. Great love story. It's really, really prominent and shows between them. Even with Robbie and Tori, really fun. Not only that, Robbie has his problems with Payne, and, you know, Payne has his problems with Anthony, Sam's brother. Hawk is doing his own thing. He has his girlfriend. He's still trying to be, fresh and new. Tori still is trying to understand what's happening because she found out that she won the tournament because Terry Silver paid off the ref. This season was interesting. Then we get the backstory of how Terry Silver used this new aspect of karate, Tang Soo Do. Kim Young Sun, how he used it from his master, and Daniel thought that Terry just made it up. The flashback scenes in this connect the show and the movies and the franchise with the three movies so well. Not only that, we get a new character, Kim Daeun, who is sort of like continuing her grandfather's legacy. But I feel like episodes 1 through 5 were really good and prominent with Thomas Ian Griffith as Terry Silver. He was there, he was that bully still. But then when she came in as the new sensei to his Cobra Kai dojo, Terry Silver kind of took a back seat. I didn't like how that writing was done. It's like, but then yet you could see that he's making everyone else do his work for him. Stingray is a big prominent character in this because he just wanted to be a part of the Cobra Kai dojo, but he had the frame crease for certain things, and the aspect of how he explains to Sam and her friends through a D&D campaign, which is really interesting. I don't mind shows now using Dungeons and Dragons, but let's step back a little bit because Stranger Things is using it, and now Cobra Kai is using it. I understand it's the writers and creators of the 80s and 90s who grew up with that game, and I did as well, but just seeing it is like overdone in a way. Now, it was fun to see certain aspects of how fighting styles were done. Now, there's a new world tournament called the Sekai Taikai, which is a big world tournament. And there is an episode where Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, and Eagle Fang have to compete in front of the Sekai Taikai promoters, I believe I want to say, in order to, get into the tournament, which was really interesting because I never knew this tournament existed. And the reason Terry Silver wanted to get into this tournament, and even in a flashback where he talks with Kreese, he wants to get into the Sekai Taikai tournament to expand Cobra Kai globally. Terry Silver has always been a manipulator since the beginning, and with a prominent villain that the Karate Kid and the Cobra Kai series have, it's just someone you love to hate because he's such an asshole, but it's done so well. The Miguel and Robbie beef is there. It's prominent, it's there, but it's so interesting how it's done. While the adults are having their issues, the teenagers are having theirs. And the way the creators and the writers combined and meshed the two, and having Terry Silver, that one villain, harboring over each adult and teen is crazy and so interesting. And we do need a season 6 of Cobra Kai because you just can't leave it the way it ended. Season 5 ended on a crazy high note, especially that season finale, especially how it ended on that last shot. What's that character going to do now? And then you have the Senkai Taikai tournament, the global tournament of karate. What's going to happen with Silver now? Who's going to run Cobra Kai? And you also need Julie Pierce in this 6th season. Hilary Swank's character from the next Karate Kid, who Mr. Miyagi trained. I am very curious to see how she comes in, if they can get her in it, because it'll be really good. And you come in and you tie everything together of all the 4 movies and then this series. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if Hilary Swank does come in to this series, because this way, I mean, the Sekai Taikai tournament, you have an opening where she maybe has her own dojo in a way, which is in remembrance of Mr. Miyagi, and she enters the Sekai Taikai tournament with her dojo. and you have Eagle Fang, you have Cobra Kai, you have Miyagi-Do. You have an interesting storyline to tell and how everything's going to work. 5 seasons of Cobra Kai. Mind blowing. Seasons 1 and 2 were on YouTube. Great. Okay. I feel like if it was still on YouTube, it would not have got to a fifth season. Good thing Netflix picked it up because they're smart. Because seasons 3, 4, and 5 were excellent. Season 5 adds and drops certain F bombs here and there in certain episodes, which I was surprised about because I didn't expect them to do that. When one of the characters says that, I'm like, oh, Daniel, you said that. Or, you could see Terry Silver saying that. It's interesting how the aspect works in this season. I love the camaraderie. I love the story. The way certain aspects were taught, like Chosen teaching Daniel's students. It was just fun to see. There were great funny moments. There were great serious moments. It's just an aspect of what is interesting. Each episode is between 30 to 50 minutes long. 10 episodes. You can get it done in under 5 hours. It's perfect. And I mean, like I said, I binge watched it and it's all fresh in my head. And I figured, why not do a review on it? It's absolutely mind blowing how good this season was because you had Jessica Andrews back for a short episode. You had Mike Barnes back who was trying to leave that life, but of course he gets pulled back in after what Terry Silver did. I loved the scene, like I said, with the three enemies of Daniel fighting Terry Silver. You have Johnny, Chosen, Mike Barnes coming together, going after that big top villain. Interesting to see what's going to happen to Kreese now, but it's going to be fun for sure. I might have to give this season another watch because it was that good. The writing is really well done. The balance between the adult characters and the teen characters are really good. And it's really fun to see. And this brings in a new generation of viewers who don't know the Karate Kid movies. Do you have to watch the Karate Kid movies? No, but if you're a fan of them like I am, the three movies and then the fourth movie with Hilary Swank as Julie Pierce is really good. The Karate Kid franchise is a big, big franchise. Cobra Kai has renewed that franchise. I would never have expected Terry Silver to be back as the biggest villain ever. Probably the most ruthless villain I've seen in any movie or TV show for that matter. And Thomas Ian Griffith plays it perfectly. You thought John Kreese was crazy? Silver's even crazier. And the way Daniel and Johnny do things is great. Now, the aspect that I did find interesting was that Daniel is always this hot-headed guy, so quick to the temper. But he's teaching Mr. Miyagi's ways and philosophy. But Daniel himself is not using them to calm down. You know what I mean? Chosen told and said to something that Daniel was like, remember what Mr. Miyagi did and told you. This way you can calm down. And then all of a sudden you get these flashbacks. It's just great and interesting. I love the flashbacks, especially the one episode and scene where Amanda takes Daniel to Mr. Miyagi's room. I mean, pull at my heartstrings, get the waterworks going. I mean, my eyes were sweating. I was crying, like seriously, because it's just that good. And they write in Mr. Miyagi, and he's there overlooking everything in spirit. And, rest in peace to Pat Morita. I mean, because, Mr. Miyagi is one of those movie characters where you always remember what he did and how he taught Daniel certain things. And Daniel is using that now in Cobra Kai. This season was great. It was fun, and I'm hoping there is a sixth season or more. Maybe give us 8 seasons. You can probably close it out, maybe 6 or 7, but we'll see what happens. You need the Saikai Taikai tournament in the 6th season, and you need to bring in Hilary Swank as Julie Pierce somehow. If you do bring her in, maybe have her own dojo and into the Saikai Taikai tournament. It's the only way I see the writers and creators putting her in somehow in some form. For me, Cobra Kai Season 5 gets 4.5 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Cobra Kai Season 5. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect and the dynamic of seeing all of these characters come back from the 3 films? Did you like seeing Mike Barnes come back? Did you like seeing Jessica Andrews' character come back? And what did you think about Terry Silver's character? Was he more ruthless than the previous season and from the Karate Kid Part 3? Or do you think he has something else up his sleeve? What do you think is going to happen to Kreese? Do you think that, Miguel and Sam are going to, keep together, Robbie and Tori? Like, what's going to happen with everyone? I mean, even Johnny's going to become a father now, you know? And it feels like if this is the end of Cobra Kai, the TV series, it was a nice closure in a way. But I don't think it is, because the way it ended, it's just going to be interesting. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Cobra Kai Season 5, and also let me know what rating you would give it. And also, do you think the Seikai Taikai tournament will be a big event in a future season of Cobra Kai? And do you see Hilary Swank coming in as Julie Pierce? If so, how do you think the writers and creators will use her character in a season? Let me know in the comment section below. But all the questions I just asked, and I'll see you all in the next review video, and thank you for tuning in.